How do you know who your people are? Let's figure this out.
My name is Angela Nibley, and I come from a family with history in the Mormon Church. When I was 16 years old, the cognitive dissonance between what I was being taught and what was expected of me was more than I could handle. So, I decided to leave the church. It did not go well. This is my healing journey.
Relationships must be built on trust in order for them to be safe. Building a history where you have proven your trustworthiness takes time. Trust is a form of credit. When you open up to someone new, you are extending this form of credit to them. If something about them makes you feel like that's unwise, trust that. Your nervous system is communicating with you. But for the most part, we extend this small amount of credit, and based on how they repeatedly handle this responsibility, proves whether or not they have the discipline to handle more. Even when they have good intentions, not everyone has the same levels of discipline, and this changes with life experience. Understanding another person's capacity to be safe is crucial in being the steward of your own safety. To get clarity about who is right for you, the first clutter you must address is to cut all the parasites loose. Not everyone who isn't for you is a parasite, but identify and cut the parasites loose first, because their only goals are to suck you dry, to hold you back, and to achieve the fleeting power that comes from betrayal. You cannot keep them and you. They will make sure of that. People who don't respect themselves are dangerous. While self-esteem issues are honest to come by in today's world, there is a marked difference between having self-worth issues that you recognize you need to address and not seeing that you and everyone else is equally worthy of the same basic human dignity and respect. Because people in this pathological state often have a high tendency for projecting when referring to others, they reveal themselves and their flaws quite happily, albeit unwittingly. The good news is that anyone with an ounce of discernment immediately knows that this shit is bananas, especially the people who are for you. People who see hierarchical degrees in qualifying the value of others are people who do not authentically respect themselves, because they're needing an external device to artificially inflate the ego, instead of intrinsically understanding that as a human, they are inherently worthy of respect and dignity. These people will always need to feel like they are on top, because to them, life is inherently a zero-sum game. But as long as you choose these kinds of people for your company, you are entering into a dynamic that is looking to subvert you and your interests to theirs. This is their objective, and you cannot reason people out of this pathology who do not want to be reasoned with, because that requires courage, integrity, and humility they have been actively avoiding since they allowed this to fester in the first place.
While I have your attention, remember to like and subscribe. And if you'd like to express your rage to your community at large, check out my groovy merch.
Nature is inherently symbiotic, and this is where we find the most productive and sustainable models for prosperity. This is true of our resources and our relationships. So, how do you know if you've picked the people who are for you? When you succeed, how happy are they? Genuinely. Do they get excited for you? Because anyone who is invested in you will consider your wins their personal wins too. They will see your dreams coming true as part of their own happily ever after, because your success is part of their dreams coming true. This is the mark of one who loves self and others freely.
They will tell you all of the authentic ways in which you are extraordinary. They will fill you up with real love and care about your feelings. And they will be the first ones in line to give you your flowers.
The opposite behavior becomes much easier to spot when this is understood. I survived my childhood through hypervigilance, particularly in spotting microexpressions. What is the first expression your people make when things go well for you? Do they try to diminish or undercut you with their facial expressions or tone? When you tell them about your dreams or aspirations, do their expressions attempt to convince you that you're off base or unrealistic? Or do they genuinely light up at your great new idea?
I won! Can you believe I got it?
Yeah, I've been working really hard and I think I'm finally a contender for this opportunity. My whole life is ruined. I just don't know what I'm gonna do. When the rest of their face catches up, are their eyes smiling or just their mouth? While being able to read these signs is not always fully conclusive, it can be incredibly revealing when people are wearing masks. Likewise, and paradoxically, because of our relationship to masking, the neurodiverse individuals who may not reveal these things in their face are more likely to be directly straightforward about their opinions. And while that's not conclusive across the board, and neurodiverse people are capable of being parasitic, these prominent patterns can be revealing of many people's true intentions with time. These are all signs that the people in your circle may not be looking out for your best interests. So you should know. There are people who will love you for you. There are people who will celebrate your wins and grieve your losses with you. There are people who dream of seeing you become everything you want to become and more. There are people who want you to have every good thing. If you have fallen into patterns that allow people other than this to take up your time and resources, consider the trajectory and the cost you'll eventually face if you have to end things once the stakes get higher. When things are on a level playing field, the cost of parasites may seem inconsequential. But if you ever want to elevate into a better life, those will be the most willing and eager crabs to pull you back down into the bucket. And they're the ones you allowed access to sabotage, which, now that you're aware of it, would be a conscious act of self-sabotage. You are precious and inherently worthy of dignity and respect. You are worthy of love. If you have allowed people to have access to you who do not demonstrate this in multitudes, they are not your people, and they already know that. I hope you will remember your inherent worth and lovability. And remember, we take care of the goose for the health of the gander, so we can all be golden. Thanks for watching.